Hey everybody, it's Greg M. Thompson and Doug Michael Lucas, and we're going to be talking about the 18th annual Sunburst Showcase and Convention of Celebrity Impersonators. So hey Doug, how are you?
Hello, hello. I'm wonderful. I'm so thrilled to be here. I love
Yeah.
Sunburst, and I'm so excited to be part of the staff this year.
Yeah, everybody, he's the new production manager. He's going to be my right-hand man, and either I'm going to keep him really busy or he's going to keep me really busy this year.
Now, if you are right-handed, Greg, which I assume you are,
I am.
I'd like to be your left-hand man instead, because I assume you use your left hand less often,
This is
and
true.
that's probably more comfortable for me. we're gonna dive in there anyhow.
Absolutely. Well, Doug is very familiar with the convention. He's been several years now. He knows it inside and out. He knows the purpose of it. He knows it from my point of view and from the points of view from the attendees. And he was perfect to bring in here. And he's already come up with some good ideas that we're going to implement this year.
I have
And
come up with some ideas that you fell for somehow. Good. We'll leave it up to the attendees to figure out if they're good. Now, Michael is going to bring me my kukui nuts, which I forgot. You're wearing yours, and I have some, and I'm going to wear them. So Michael's going to bring them to me. They're in our drag closet, Dame Edna's own closet. They live in there because when we pack up for Sunburst, we always want to remember them.
Cool, cool. Well, let's talk about what we're going to do at Sunburst. First of all, it's happening Labor Day weekend, and that starts on September 2nd, which is a Wednesday, and goes through the 6th, which is a Sunday. And this year, tell them about this was your idea of come
Was
together.
it
Tell them
my
what
idea?
that was your idea.
I'm already trying to backpedal out of everything.
Yeah, so see,
Nuts.
here's the great thing for me of having a production manager. Lynn Fry was there for years, and then I didn't have anybody, and now I've got you. So
I
if
love Lynn.
if it works really well, that's great. And if it works really bad, I can blame it on you.
That's right. That's right. um, but the idea is, and it kind of became a collaborative brainstorm where uh, I just felt like a lot of people were going to feel left out in the cold. They were going to be without a lot of the normal ways of doing what they do. And so I thought, since Sunburst is always such a great place to gather like-minded people, like interests, and be celebrated, I thought, why not have a come together theme this year? And of course, the Beatles are some of the most popularly impersonated artists in history,
Mm-hmm.
and so "Come Together" fits right in. And of course, everybody loves that song too. So I thought about a come together theme where we all come together and discuss the new challenges that face us in a post COVID-19 world. And I know we won't be a totally post COVID-19 world once September comes around, but things will be better.
Mm-hmm.
I have every confidence that things will be better than they are right now in September, and it'll be a great time to come together. And there's even a reunion party this year, which is great. And those who don't feel like they need quote unquote professional development anymore, those who maybe they only like the social aspect of it at this point in their career or what have you, the reunion party is exactly that. It's people who have come to the Sunburst convention, and newbies, but people who've come to the Sunburst convention in years past and want to socialize with the people they miss so much, because we're down here in South Florida, and a lot of the people in our industry, we only see them at Sunburst every year, because even
Mm-hmm.
though we play some of the same venues, we don't play them at exactly the same time, so it shifts in the night. So
And let me
so it'll be
clarify
a
that.
great
Let
party.
me clarify that. Doug and I are not in the same place right now. I'm in Orlando, and he is in
That's right.
South Florida, and that's what he meant by he's
That's
down
right.
there. So yeah.
Yeah, sorry, when I say we, I, of course, am speaking of myself and my partner, who is pictured multiple places near me. Hold on one second. There we go. There's he and I on Thanksgiving Day a few years ago in our pilgrim hats, which were a prop for the photo. We did not bring them. And there's him with Barry Humphries, the creator of Dame Edna, many years ago. And when I say we, I'm speaking of my partner and I. Yeah, we're in South
Yes,
Florida.
Michael Walters. Yep.
Yes. I didn't say his
So
name. Oh,
no, you didn't say his name.
oh, shoot. Well, what a great manager I am. Wow.
Way to get that brand out there.
That's right. That's right. Just call the guy that you don't know his name and book him, please. Yeah.
Well, yes. So to clarify a little more, there are
Yeah.
going to be those who attend the entire convention, and there are going to be people because Jackie and I get those calls every year. They go, "Greg, we don't really want to come to the whole convention, but we want to come and see everybody." So this aspect of it, the reunion ticket, is specifically for them. They can come to the reunion party, which is on Friday, September the 4th. And then they also get to come to the showcases on Friday and Saturday if they want to do that as well. And we're also going to have pizza at the party.
Pizza.
Yay.
Yes, Greg is already rolling out the dough, and in the next couple of months, he should have 4 or 5 pies made, and it'll be a
I
good time.
should. I should. And also, it's always BYOB. So if you want to have an adult beverage or a soft drink or whatever, bring whatever you want to drink. We'll have cups and ice and soft drinks there and pizza. And we're also featuring the Sunburst Follies show, which went over really well last year, which is basically it's an open mic. It's an
Yeah,
open mic night.
I
But
remember
that
that
is
last
all.
year. It was so much fun. It was so
It
much
was
fun.
fun. And
People
you
got up
know,
and did the most surprising things. It was a
they
great time.
they really did, and it was so much fun. And when we went into it, we only had 4 acts signed up.
Hmm.
So I said, well, let's put it on, and we'll feature those 4 acts. And then
Yeah,
people kept coming, and it got to a point that I had to say, sorry, we can't do anymore.
yeah.
But that's where now this is only open to the attendees. Those who are getting the reunion ticket will not be able to perform in the Sunburst Follies, but they'll be able to be entertained, and we'll have a special aspect of the reunion party for them as well.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be a great time. I don't think we've ever had anything that was not necessarily either showcase or seminar related that is a gathering you know, just of everybody who is in the Sunburst family. And it's a big family. It's a huge family. When you think of everybody who's ever been, it's a lot of people.
Yeah, I counted them up last year, and
Did you?
there have been over 700 different entertainers over the
Yeah.
last
Well, different
17
is the
years.
word to use, I think. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. We are different. We all know that.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. I love this industry so much. I'm a theater person. That's my bread and butter. It's what I do for a living. For those who don't know, I am a theatrical technician. I work backstage. My concentration is primarily wigs and wardrobe, which means the hair people wear on stage, of course, and then quick changes and costume maintenance. So that's what I do at a professional theater here in South Florida. But adjacent to that is the tribute industry, which my partner Michael was already in. He had already been to Sunburst many times by the time I met him going on 11 years ago. And I adore it. Great people, and it calls on all of my skills to help him do what he does. And I love that.
Mhm.
Attention to detail, production, it's one of my favorite things.
And Doug also, is graphic designer the right word for that?
It is. Now, unfortunately, for others who went to school to be graphic designers, that's the only word you can use to describe someone who does it but didn't go to school for it, which is me. And I think the people who really are highly trained deserve a lot more respect than I do. But out of necessity, many years ago, I started doing graphic design, and I've taught myself how to do
And you
the
do a
things
very good
you.
job. So all of the
Thank you.
graphics you see at the Sunburst convention for the last 3 years, I believe. Well, you designed the logo several years ago.
I did, yeah. It
Yeah.
was. It's always been a sun, but I sort of modernized the sun, and yeah, I redid the logo.
Hmm. So he does all of the
I,
graphics for the
I don't know
Sunburst
if I
convention.
asked you if I could do it, but I sent it to you, and you said, "Oh, good, that's the logo."
Yeah, we're going to stick with that. Yeah. And you also have posters for shows, which is your company.
That's right. You know, it's so funny. I wouldn't call it a company. I had to call as an idea man, as you know, Greg. You have to give everything a name. Everything
Yes.
has to have a name. And so I call it posterforshows.com. It's just my Facebook page where it's an easy place to contact me. So if you don't remember my name or any of that, postersforshows.com is a good way to contact me for any graphic design work you may need.
Yep. And because when we were doing one sheets, which I still use and I still recommend
Yeah.
them, Doug makes, as a matter of fact, we were giving away awards for the best one sheet, and your designs won a few times.
Yeah, it was very rewarding to help people who have a concept in their mind, but in order to and I know people watching will relate to this because I've had many discussions. In order to translate your brand and what you feel like you're doing into a piece of paper, you normally have to call someone who knows nothing about show business and who knows
Hmm.
nothing about the character you're doing. And because a lot of graphic design people, many are artists, but many are also they're more computer based in their minds. They're not art based in their minds, or they're not performance based. Anyway, um, I just found a niche where people valued a an artist who already knew going in all of the context of their celebrity and knew what the goals of an impersonator are in terms of putting that over on paper.
Yeah, and
And
what is
business,
needed.
right, exactly, and business cards are the best way to do that now because they're much smaller, and we finally got our agents to stop relying so much on one sheets.
Hmm.
And
It's always been
but
a progression.
it's just as important to have a business card that stands out when when somebody's flipping through their stack of business cards. You want it to be clear who you are, and
You want
for
it to stand out.
impersonators, there really should be a photograph right there on the business card because
Hmm.
um, how else are they to know that you're such a fabulous looking Marilyn Monroe unless it's
Hmm.
right there on the card.
And we got rid of the best one sheet category and added the
That's right.
best business card
Yes,
category.
the Sunburst convention, always modernizing, always marching forward.
Trying to, yeah. I remember the first year, John McConnell came and spoke, and he reminded everybody, not to jump on that DVD bandwagon yet because people were still wanting VHS tapes, and that was the truth.
Yes. Yes, and it was so costly to send a VHS through the mail, and it would always, like, if anything fell on it on the mail truck, oops, we got to send another one. Wow,
Yep.
how far we've come. How far we've
Yeah.
come.
Then it went to DVDs, and now we are, everything's online. I don't get anything in the mail. I barely send anything out in the mail, but
Yeah.
it's all about looks. And you can, and also while we're giving shout outs for what you do, tell them about your agent friendly site because I think that's important too. And
Oh,
then we'll talk more about
sure.
the Sunburst convention.
This is why Greg and I are kindred spirits, because we both have jams and jellies, and we have our little roadside stand, and and as we said, we give everything a name. Uh, I had an idea a couple of years ago, and it spawned from the fact that agents want a web page to send their clients to in order to market you.
Whether
You
you
want
agree with it or not, that's what they
Right,
want.
correct. What they want is, if you want Jackie Gleason, I have to use my partner as an example. If you want Jackie Gleason, they want to say, okay, here's my Jackie Gleason. And they don't want the client to know that it's Michael Walters, because guess what? If they call me, I'm going to take all the money. And so they don't want that. They want their agency to remain exclusive, which is their business. And it's been a stumbling block how to get that material to the client in a way that the agent can agree with. And it used to be that many agencies would have their own website, which many still do. I think most have a website, but what happens is when you send your photograph to an agent, and I thank you, Greg, for the opportunity to explain this, because oh my gosh, it clears up so much. And as soon as I explain this, people are like, oh, of course. When you send your photograph to an agent and they put it on their website, they will never look at it again. Whether you think they should, whether you think they will, they just don't. And it's been 10 years of me looking at agency websites myself. For example, when I started with Michael as Dame Edna 10 years ago, even Jackie Gleason as Ralph Cramden and Sheriff Buford T. Justice, we have improved the costumes. We have improved the even the photograph quality, in terms of having a professional photographer do things that we used to try to do ourselves. Um, and Michael, of course, has changed. He doesn't look the same from 10 years ago. So now, if I wanted an agent to update that, and I tried this, it was an act of Congress. And these were friends of mine, people I knew. I'd email them and say, "Hey, can you please put these new photos on the website?" And it started to be where I was like a bill collector. It's like, "This is your third notice. Please put this new photograph on the website." And it's killer. And so,
Yeah.
nothing against agents, but that is the truth. And
Mhm.
so if you send them a link that says, "This is my agent friendly website," and you have the power to update that at any time, uh, then you are in control of what a client sees of you, even if it's agent friendly material without your name on it. And so one solution is to buy your own URL and your own web hosting, which is fairly costly. It's a yearly expense.
Hmm.
I'm sure many people watching have priced it out. Fairly costly. And you have to make your own website. You have to have the knowledge of how to lay it out and what's effective. But an easier and cheaper option is what I came up with. It's called celebtributes.com. Celebtributes.com. And you can subscribe, send me your materials, and I upload them on an almost social media type looking page, but it is totally agent friendly. There is no way on my web hosting that the agent or the client will know who is represented on the page. They see you, they see your pictures, they see the name of the celebrity, of course, and a brief description and some video, but it's all hosted in a way that's totally agent friendly, which is so important to so many agents out there. Whether you care about agent friendly or not, those who get phone calls all year asking for your character want agent friendly material. And so celebtributes.com is a low yearly price, and it's no muss, no fuss. It's a way to host your materials online.
And you don't have to attend the Sunburst convention to get it.
You do not have to attend the Sunburst convention to get it. You go to celebtributes.com. If you click information on the page, there's even a sample page you can look at. I actually used the real share. I laid out a page for the real share just so it wouldn't be showing anyone in our business in particular. And you can see how the pages are laid out. And all you have to do is send me your stuff and get started.
There you go. Now let's talk about the Sunburst convention. One of the other aspects that I love of having a production manager on staff is that Doug is going to be in charge of making the stage look nice for performances, for the video that we're going to be shooting, for the audience who is coming in to watch the entertainers perform. And once he is done with that, he will also be focusing on making sure that the entertainers are taken care of, because as much as I want to take care of them, I've also got the convention to take care of. And just one of the things we were talking about earlier today is we're going to make sure that we have 2 dressing spots, one for the ladies and one for the gentlemen, so that they can go in there and change comfortably, and we'll have a mirror and lights and stuff in there.
Right.
So let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. The showcases, of course, are a major component of the convention. And for many years, you've had agents from all over the world come to these showcases, and it's an artist's chance to be seen in front of booking people, buyers even, that they otherwise wouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the most important things, I think, is satisfying all the needs of the performer as they go into that, because
Mm-hmm.
it is an investment. It's an investment people make to participate, and when you go out there, you want to feel like your character was put in its best light, and that's so
Mm-hmm.
important to me. And so in years past, and still in this year, we focus on creating a setup that looks like a nice venue, and lighting that looks like a nice venue, high quality camera. We're actually making an adjustment this year where the camera shoot will be a 1 camera shoot in the center of the room. That's going to give us the very best angle on you, because in the past we put them on the sides where because there's an audience sitting there, but this year we're going to make the audience sit around the camera
Mm-hmm.
for the sake of providing the very best video of
And just like we were talking about, things have changed so much. We can do so much more with 1 camera now.
That's so true.
Yeah.
That's so true. Yeah, it's no longer necessary to do a 2 camera shoot, and sometimes it gets confusing. And when you talk about the edit, I know that in years past when I've watched my showcase video, people, gosh, even I get awfully neurotic about how my business, which is Michael Walters, is presented.
Mm-hmm.
And on a 2 camera shoot, sometimes you're like, no, I wanted the other angle right there.
Yeah, yeah.
There's no way that that Greg or anybody else's edit would agree with what I'm thinking. So a 1 camera shoot's a really great way to always put you in your best light going across the stage
the whole time. Yes, and we're going to have, so we have a professional lighting and sound company, professional videographer, professional backstage crew, and the persons of Kim Holdridge as stage manager and Ridge Holdridge as back of house manager. And that is a give and take. So we want to provide you with the most professional setup we can, and in exchange, we ask them to act as professional as possible as
Yes.
well.
Well, Kim and Ridge are as professional as they come. Kim
Uh-huh.
is an IATSE stagehand going back decades.
Hmm.
And IATSE, for those who don't know, is the national union for stagehands. Every Broadway stagehand is in that union.
Hmm.
And of course, she has tons of experience. And so it's always a joy to work with her because
Yeah, and
she knows
Ridge
how to
too.
handle
Ridge
every
is in there
situation.
too.
Ridge, absolutely. They both know how to handle every situation that comes up.
Yeah. So let's talk briefly about some of the concerns because we had a meeting, a live session on Facebook the other night, and people are going to be wanting to know about how we are dealing with the social distancing. And I just want
Hmm.
to assure everybody that is at the forefront of our thoughts this year.
I think the headline is that luckily we have two such great and capable, compassionate producers of the Sunburst Convention, Greg and Jackie, whose experience tells them always to have their mind on safety first. And they understand that if you're making the investment to come to Sunburst, that's one of your top priorities. And of course,
Hmm.
Jackie, coming from the corporate aspect of the theme park world, Jackie works in the corporate operations of Universal Studios. That safety is so ingrained in what they both do that whatever the landscape is on Labor Day weekend, Sunburst is going to be designed to keep that safe. Now,
Hmm.
as I said during that meeting, if Sunburst was tomorrow, we probably would call it because right
Hmm.
now there's no way to do the seminars, the backstage being close together. Because as I know, and as many people who work in live, whether it be doing many concerts throughout the year or in theater, backstage there's really no such thing as 6 feet distance between people. There's no
There's
way to get
not.
on and
Yeah.
off stage. Yeah, and so if it was tomorrow, that wouldn't happen. But in September, I know that we're going to work on the very best ways to keep the guidelines at that time at the forefront of what goes on.
Hmm. And once again, it's going to be held at the Florida Hotel and Conference Center, which is attached to the Florida Mall, which is a huge bonus, I believe. Not only for
Oh yeah,
going and getting something to eat, you're pretty much
it's a
anything you want.
fabulous place. It's a
Yeah.
fabulous place. I love it.
And if you find that you need something at the last minute, more than likely there's a store in there that
Yes,
carries what you
yes,
need.
yes. Dollar store picture frames, cosmetics. I mean, anything you can think of, you can get
Drugstore,
there.
uh, you name it. They got a
That
CVS
should be
right
a
in there.
challenge. That should be a challenge. Everybody who wants to participate spend $10 to try to dress as their celebrity from the mall. It's almost like that toilet paper wedding dress,
Yeah.
at a bridal shower.
I was thinking that we should give away an award for the most unique mask this year.
Yes, it's funny, and it's easy to think that masks will be a part of our lives in September, but
Hmm.
for me, it's just as easy to think that masks will be less important in September. I don't
Hmm.
know. Nobody
Hmm.
knows, and of course, we have several months to go, and in August, we're going to have a much better picture of what the landscape is going to be, and we'll be able to make really cogent decisions at that time.
Yeah. Well, I will have the Greg said cards again, and if you're not familiar with those, you would find out at Sunburst what a Greg said card is. Somebody wanted to know if we were going to have a Doug said card, and
No,
no. But
no.
I will tell you this: I will be telling everybody if you have a question about something going on at the convention, your first thing to do is to go ask Doug. And if he doesn't know, he'll find me and ask me
That's
or
right.
Kim or whomever he needs to speak to.
I love to be helpful, and if anybody comes to me with a question that I can't answer, I will help you find the answer.
There you go. There you go. Well, I'm very excited about the convention again this year, and I want to encourage everybody to go ahead and register if you're pretty sure that you're coming, or if you want to come, and if for some reason the last minute you can't, it's okay. There's no payments due until August, and your hotel. If you're, oh, let's talk about that real quick.
Yeah,
There are you had talked about there are people coming into town this year that if they know someone locally, they could possibly call them and stay with them if they
yeah.
can't afford to
If
stay in a room.
if you have friends, or if for some reason you want to stay at a different hotel or a
Hmm.
different, whatever you want to do to get to Orlando and get to the Sunburst Convention, to come
Hmm.
together to both be celebrated and to strategize about the future of our industry. Uh, you can do a number of things, and what we're doing by putting dressing rooms backstage, and other accommodations is making it easier for you to attend Sunburst and do your showcase without having to stay in the hotel. Because
Hmm.
I know if you're coming with all your costumes, especially if you do more than one look, more than one character, and you want all that to be represented, it's tough to do that unless you have a room right there.
Hmm.
But we're working to provide more
Right.
places for people
More
to do what
choices.
they do.
Now, I do want to encourage everybody that the very best option, of course, is to stay at the hotel. Uh,
Yeah, there's so much more convenience to it.
mhm,
But for some people, it won't be an option, and
mhm.
we don't want that to mean that you're going to miss out on the whole thing.
Right. That's correct. That's correct. And call us if you have any questions. Doug, how's the best way for somebody to get in touch with you? Is it through Facebook or through your email?
Well, Facebook is, of course, where everybody is all day, every day.
Hmm.
And so that's easy. My name is right down there.
Hmm.
And you can contact me. You can go to postersforshows.com. You can certainly reach out to Greg, and he'll put you in touch with me.
Hmm.
My email address is dougmichaellucas@gmail.com.
That's it.
So anything and everything.
Cool. Well, that's it. I just wanted to put this out there and thank you for talking with me. And I'm really excited about this year.
I'm excited too. I think it's going to be a real barn burner of a year, and I love everybody who is in the Sunburst family. And the industry is so fun to me. I'm thrilled to be part of it.
Well, cool. Well, welcome aboard.
Yay!
Hang around just a second.
Yeah. Bye, everybody.